bienvenue à Disneyland 1000 spectacle pour que tout allez le monde de Disneyland. We had a house in there! Oh, we loved it. Oh, can I just say how thrilled we are to finally get that song included. When we started at Disneyland and Me 4 years ago, in 2017, we started with Disneyland Shorts and eventually Disneyland Shorts and worked our way to the main show. We wanted that to be the theme tune. Yeah, me and you categorically went straight away and said, that's gotta be the theme tune. That's gotta be. And you did try. I did try with editing it down. We had to find a certain cut-off point. The problem is with that song, there's no perfect cut-off point where you can go, right, that's enough of the song, now on the show. This is not. Whereas with Once Upon a Dreams Parade song, it works perfectly. So I'm just so glad we're able to finally get that featured in, and we had a very good time about it. Well, I think if you we haven't mentioned what today's show is. Oh, of course, forgot. Sorry, it's episode 8. It's the wonderful Disney Parade, which opened on. We're so caught up in Dancin a Catchy Rhythm, which is called it. Opened on the 30th of March 1998, and you would have found this in all 5 lands of the Disneyland park. Yeah, so I'm just so glad we finally got, because I think if you ask people who were around and did see this parade, if you were to ask them the one thing that stands out at the parade, it would be the song. And I think that shows how good a parade song it is when you say that as the thing that stands out over the parade. Well, I think today's show is going to be a real test for you, because obviously it's been it's been 16 years since I first saw this parade. So it's a real test of memory. And when we go to the watch party later on, you will notice that I don't really do that much commentary. Most of the commentary comes from you. Yeah. Because to me, it's a real test of memory. I was like, oh my god, was that it? It was really hard to memorize. So yeah. So, like I think what was quite good about how this was following on from a previous parade show, it means the audience sort of get what we're going to do with parade shows. Yeah. So what I do is talk about each float, what we like, don't like. So, okay, so let's go with it. So, Steamboat Woody Unit. So this is based on, obviously, what started it all for Mickey in 1928. In the anime short Steamboat Willie. The key icon of the whole parade, and perhaps the only time a Walt Disney short cartoon has been honoured with its own float in a modern Disney parade. It's such an iconic short. I mean, you ask us to pick top 10 shorts. That's not top. That's number 1. That's number 1. That has to be, because that's where it all started for Mickey. Where it all started. You know, all started with a mouse. So yeah, so you got Mickey and Minnie. Wore special black and white costumes. So they went very back to the old days of when, so obviously in the early days of film and TV you would have black and white. So I love how they just go hard back to it. Yeah, they used to be black and white, seen black and white on film and TV. Let's have them black and white, and it works brilliantly, absolutely brilliant, absolutely brilliant there. And you got the huge ship rocking back and forth as it travels along the parade route, and the float is perhaps also unique since the designers were required to transfer the original black and white animated Steamboat Willie to a full colour design. Yeah, and here's another shock. Unusually parade floats, the driver of this float is exposed. Double! I know. Where he or she sits in a life ring in the waves at the front of the ship. Oh wow! And since the original theme of the parade was that guests were being invited to step into a timeline of Disney classics and take part in the scenes, a 1920s 30s cameraman and film crew preceded Steamboat Willie and filmed the attraction. This disappeared though in the early 2000s. I don't think I saw it. Probably likely to the impending inauguration of Walt Disney Park. Yeah, so because of course, Walt Disney Park was supposed to be about you on a film set. So yeah, but we should mention that at a certain point in the parade, it would come to a stop, and you invite the audience to do some dancing. Felt weird, but yeah. Okay. So, Princess Staircase Unit. But as we say, the key ingredients to a Disneyland Paris parade, apart from having Mickey and the gang is, you have a Toy Story float, you have a Peter Pan float, you have a Lion King float, or Lion King or Jungle Book float, or a mixed match, and you have a Princess float. Yeah. So, would you like to do the next one? Okay. I'll take over. Right. So, okay, you can do whatever you want. You take over this next one. Right. The Princess Staircase was a large 20-metre end-to-end float spread over 3 articulated sections, and they had 3 classic Disney princesses at work that we've used. Now, I know you're not hung on the classics. No, I'm more Tiana and Rapunzel, but of course this was early 2000s. Of course, at the time we went, it was mid to noughties, so they weren't there, but now. So, what 3 classic parade princesses were used for this float? It was Snow White, Cinderella, and Aurora. Wow, so not Belle. Okay. With ornate gold decorations covering the staircases and elaborate portraits adorning the sides, golden flowering arches, and glittering chandeliers. Hey, what I just love about this float is how you got that. It's that royal family feel. As if you're in a castle. Yeah, as if you're in a castle. Yeah. With a castle, and you'd have the colours of, grand colours, of gold and silver, a red there too. I just love it. And I love how it's the stack. It's just lovely. It's just so amazing. It's just beautiful. The decoration is just absolutely beautiful. It's just amazing. But you know how you gave us a shock with Steamboat Willie? Float. Yeah. I've got a shock for you here. Yeah. Oh, go for it. Right. So, this float, of course, was created for the parade, though unfortunately its life was shorter than expected. That's not the shock bit. Oh. Okay, go ahead. Do you know what it reminds me of that episode in Big Brother 7 where they had the double. Yeah, the double eviction! The double eviction where they had to come out in pairs. And to be able to get the crowd, and she was like, and they were like, and she then turned to like, I love you guys. That's what so remind me of. Right, well, so that was not the shock. No, the shock was, according to common belief and or rumour, the size of the float caused an accident with a dancer backstage, and by the time the parades returned in 2001, it had been ditched in the favour of the Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty floats from the Disney Classics Parade. But would Snow White ever come back? She would eventually rejoin the parade in May of 2003. Okay. Pinocchio unit. Should we just take it in turns to do a float? Yeah. That's what we should have done the last one. And just chip them. Right, so back to me. Oh, that's what you're going to do? Yeah. Oh, okay, right. Pinocchio unit. So, based on the 1940 animated film Pinocchio, here's another shock. Right, this was a reused float. From the Disney Classics Parade. This float was featured Pinocchio dancing, with Geppetto standing over him. A collection of other marionettes and toys were featured around the edges of the very classical wooden float, which featured its own puppet theatre at the front, and several mechanic toy props. So quite like how it's harking for what Pinocchio was, of course, being a marionette. Just love that. Another shock. It was one of the many floats not to return when the parade returned in 2001, because this float was also retained from the Disney Classics Parade. Yep. What is the Disney Classics Parade? Shall I set up? Because it's me next. You look up. Yeah, I'll quick look up. Alright, what is the Disney? Because it's being mentioned a lot in our research. I'm looking it up. Just quickly, because you're next. Oh my god, you've got Dumbo. The Dumbo float next. When it gets the Casey Jr. one. Bear with. Who do you think you are? Tilly from Miranda? Ah, right, so that's apparently it's what it was called. Originally, yeah. It's because this parade debuted in as one of the main attractions of Disneyland Paris, the year Disney Classics event. Ah, so there we go. Right, okay. Back to you, Dumbo, the Dumbo unit. Right, Dumbo. Oh, right, there we go. Right, Dumbo. So this is obviously based on the 1941 animated film Dumbo. I get the... Oh, you got Casey Jr. Yeah! You got it! You were wondering who was going to get it, and you've got it! Yes! Don't get too giddy, because of the amount of years we've been to Paris, you never have convinced me to go on the Casey Jr. ride, and you never will. Well, hopefully you'll have children. Now, children, so I can convince them. We all know that's so not happening. That's so not happening. Regardless of partner, that is so not happening. Right, carry on. Right. Now, you've not seen Dumbo, so you've got no idea what I'm talking about. No, but obviously I did see the floats. So, right. So Casey Jr., it was another popular icon to remember from the parade alongside Steamboat Willie. And this newly built float... Oh, sorry, I got carried away there. Where's the shop? But not that. Oh, it's over here! Oh, right. It consists of 5 separate articulated sections forming Casey Jr.'s train with Dumbo. Sorry, I loved a train as a kid. Yeah, alright. We all have. Steam engines, not mechanical as these today. No. But steam engines. Okay. And you got Dumbo perched on. Oh, he is perched. Yeah, perched on the roof. Oh, I love that. So you can see he's actually there. Yeah. So in case people like me haven't seen it from and know where it's from, you've got them there to see. Ah, it's from Dumbo. Yeah, welcome. Of the driver's cam. Since the actual character from the film could be featured, a large group of clowns in bright yellow raincoats travelled with the float. And since this float didn't properly contain any walk-around characters, this float simply served to close the parade by 2001. Yeah, because we've still got quite a few to go. What we're looking at, our research is pre-2001. But yeah, because I do remember this was like the last one, and you got very giddy. Yeah. So, go on, what was the shock? The shock was the float was lost with the May 2003 relaunch. However, it was brought back, but by January 2001. It was finally retired in mid-July 2006 when the parade was rebranded as the Disney Princess Parade. And in early 2007, the float was remodeled and repainted to form the train in various mini parades. Oh, the celebration trains! Yes! So, do I lie? You go. Right. So, beginning in 2007, with the 15th anniversary, they had like a mini parade. I had no idea this was Casey Jr. You do now. I had no idea. So they had various different mini train parades. The first one was in 2007, and the most recent one was in 2016. So you would have various different mini parades. So the first one came in 2007 when VP7, and you had the Disney Characters Express. And oh, I found an image of all the different designs. Now, now obviously I can't show them on the screen, because you haven't screen. But maybe what we could do is before we do the watch party, do a slideshow bit. Yes. So do a slide. So once we finish part, let's do a slideshow and show all these. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. Yeah. So we got there. So the first one was the Characters Express, which was in 2007, and it had a brilliant score. Alright, the music was brilliant. But so that ran between 2007 to early 2009. Then it became, in 2009, it became Minnie's Party Train. I mean, we're going to do this as a whole, as different separate shows. Yeah. They could be though new Disneyland Me shorts. Or we could do it as one big show and just do one after one at a time. We'll workshop it, but no. So 2009, it was Mickey's Magical Party Time. That festival, it became that Minnie's Party Train between 2009 and 2010. Then in 2010, it became the Disney All Stars Express. Express. That only ran between 2010 to 2011. Then in 2012, this I think was the worst one. Because by that point, it had so many remodels, it was just, we'll just splurge all we can on it. It was like an explosion of the paint factory. In 2012, it became the Disney's 20th birthday celebration train. That ran between 2012 and 2014. And its final outing happened in 2016 as Minnie's Little Spring Train with the that song. The other day, I listened to an episode of DLP Report and they mentioned it, and they mentioned the name of the song, and I forgot what it is now. Respect, talk about the show, yeah. So there we go. So I never knew it was Casey Jr. Just rebranded. Poor thing. He had so many rebrand. Yeah. That's for another time. We'll workshop what to do. Like, it could be done as DM shorts, or it could be done as a massive show. We just do it one after another. Right, so that means it's me next. So back you go. Moving on now to the Peter Pan unit. And based on the 1953 film Peter Pan, it was a newly built float. Although the Disney Classics Parade already used an existing pirate-shaped float. This new float was more articulate and interactive. However, Captain Hook standing on a small row boat being crunched up by TikTok the crocodile. And Peter Pan instead running around it. Flying! Come on, keep the magic alive, yeah. So accompanying this also was a fleet of small miniaturized pirate ships replacing dancers for this float, inspired by similar miniature floats from Magic Kingdom. And Peter Pan unit. Each was driven by its own pirate and chased after Pan for the duration of the parade. And Peter Pan was therefore constantly on the move between this fleet of pirate ships, interacting with the audience as he flew away. It was more than many floats. Here's your shock. Shock! It was one of the many floats not to return when the parade returned in 2001. Oh, you've got Mary Poppins. No. No, it's fine because you didn't get... Oh, no, you don't get... I get it. Oh! Right. Mary Poppins! Yeah, I'm not going to do it like that. I can't stand Bird, it is. Jack in Mary Poppins Return. Love him. Oh, Lin-Manuel Miranda's great. Oh, he's lovely. He's a brilliant actor, yeah. But he was brilliant in that in the sequel. But not a fan of. There's more trouble in the musical though. But anyway, going off track. Mary Poppins unit. So this obviously is based on obviously the 1964 film. Mary Poppins, a newly built float carrying Mary amongst smoking chimneys and twirling weapon banes with the driver disguised as Admiral Boom. Is he a character? It's been quite a while since I've seen the first one. Yeah. You watched it once because we were going to see when it was 2016. It was 2016, January 2016. We were going to see the musical. Yeah, and I hadn't seen Mary Poppins despite having a DVD, and so we watched it beforehand. Yeah, so I didn't. But I was quite surprised the musical was nothing like the film. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, carry on. And you got a merry band of male and female chimney sweeps proceeding by her. I love how it's represented the chimney sweep. The shock. It's not gonna have shocks. The float was removed from the parade in May 2003 as part of the parade's transformation as the Princess Parade. However, it returned in January 2005 and remained until the parade's end. So we did see it. Yeah, I do remember this float. Yeah. You can remember this float, but you can't remember Casey Jr. Whoa! Jungle Book's next. Jungle Book's next. So we've got a Jungle Book float. This does feel like quite a long parade. We are nearly there. Well, you know what I mean? It's quite something. Based on the 1967 animated film, this was a returning float for the Disney Classics Parade. Beamed to the crumbling temple ruins of King Louis, with Mowgli, Baloo, and King Louis took turns on the throne. I love Baloo. I could picture Baloo being on that throne. Well, he does try to steal a spotlight in the film, doesn't he, Baloo? Not deep seen it. Oh, come on! What is this? List the amount of films that George has not seen. Let's not start. While several other generic monkeys hate monkeys. I don't hate monkeys. They're evil. Hung around on the float and scampered around ahead to interact with guests. And we had Car, I think his name's pronounced, featured in statue form at the front of the float, whilst all the characters wore special necklaces of bananas and leaves. And during show starts, because there were show starts at various points of the parade, so during the starts, children were invited to wear similar necklaces and dance with the characters. Here's a shock. I'm surprised we haven't fated all these shocks. It was one of the many floats not to return when the parade returned in 2001. This float was also retained from the Disney Classics Parade. Right. How many more have we got? There's later. No, that's no. No, we're about. We're all. Oh my god, this just feels like it's one of the most lengthiest parades in history. We're nearly 25 minutes in. Let's try and speed this up now. Come on, let's speed it up. Right, what do I do next? Where to next now? You've gone past. It's Little Mermaid. Right. Obviously based on the 1989 film, and was one of the only 3 floats which lived throughout the entire run of the parade. Was that not a shock? Was that not a shock? It's a shock. I just love how the colour of this under the sea. It featured Ursula being tied down by a large collection of undersea life. I'm not going to get that picture on my head now. Do you want a picture in your head, or do you want to try and speed this up? Whilst the statue of King Triton sat on his throne next to Ariel in a clamshell. She was a clamshell, Ariel. And we had other creatures moved side to side, and bubbles often spurted out of the crevices in the float. It was originally preceded by not only the iconic seashell dancers, but also a couple of large clamshell props similar to the fleet of Peter Pan's ships. So, yeah, right, okay, moving on. Beauty and the Beast. So, Belle. Based on the 1991 animated film, this was another float retained from the Disneyland Classics Parade. To be our guest musical number was The Beam. And Belle stood high on a giant cake. That's my dream. Oh, we've mentioned cake now. You know me, I love a good cake. We've all wanted to stand on a giant cake in our lives, let's face it. A bit like how we all want to be in a ball pool. With forks and teapots standing around her, Beast was featured in a massively increased size, so I loved how they were able to match a Get Beast with her, holding his rope in one hand and reaching out to Belle with the other. You also had the other characters with Mrs. Potts, Chip, Phoebe, Lumiere, and Cogsworth, all featured below the Beast on a beautiful base decorated with stained glass effect designs. The float was usually preceded with dancers dressed in chefs in candy-coloured white, gold, and pink costumes. During the early years, these also pushed along stoves and other large props. When the show did stops, children were dressed in matching aprons and chef hats. Aladdin units, over to you, Aladdin unit. We're nearly there. There's at least 3 more to go. So Aladdin unit was based on the 1992 film. This float was produced in 1993, so the year after the film came out, as the basis of the 1993-94 La Parade Aladdin. The Aladdin. That's a shock. That's a shock. Guys, no parade! What's this float doing here then? It was later added to the Disney Classic Parade, and then this parade. The scene depicted Prince Ali and Jasmine flying on magic. Oh, that's all we need. A float dedicated to a whole new world. Black. What I say to that is, get a room! Honestly. Oh, God, this so sick. Hold on. Have you finished gagging? Yep. And we also had flying above the Crossroads at Akbar with a slithering serpent lining over the moon behind them. Jafar and Wiggle featured at the front of the float in a similar style to Ursula, and the serpent breathed fire at select moments, and the magic carpet turned from side to side and was moved up and down. Lion King. I get Lion King. So, Lion King floats, based on the 1994 animated film, and another shock was created for a mini parade called the Lion King Festival that year. What are these floats doing from other parades? No wonder it's bloody long. This part is going to be much longer than the watch party. I can feel it. I can feel it coming. I can feel it coming. This float featured no live character from the film. That's another shock. That's another shock from me. Come on. I'm in a Rafiki? Instead, was simply a large decoration sculpt of animals roughly based on a cross between the circle of life, buddy day, and oh, I just can't wait to be king. Scenes. Amongst the animals were Timon, holding a bug, Pumbaa and Rafiki, holding a baby Simba, at the top of the pile, and the float was brought to life with dancers dressed as animals such as giraffes, zebras, and gazelles. It was one of the many floats not to return when the parade returned in 2001. Right, last float. Hercules. Based on the 1997 animated film, as with the Aladdin and Lion King floats, this year was also originally created for a mini parade. Celebrated the release of the title of the film, titled The Hercules Happening. Its construction just 1 year before the launch of the new parade, and very well contained design. It's beautiful design. Patch shows Science Day was produced with the new parade in mind, being the most recent of the Disney classics to be featured in the timeline. In the Hercules Happening, it was joined by a Greek temple and staircase float, gospel singers, dancers, and more, as Hercules was the most recent Disney action film to release at the time it was used to end the parade. And it was one of the many floats to return when the parade was returned in 2001. Oh my god, we're there. But there are some late additions. I'm not doing the late additions. No. We've done this. This lengthy as it is. It's lengthy as it is. Okay, it's lengthy as it is. So we've made it through. Let's go straight to